Yeah, super strong crowd control, as well as just setting your team up for really great burst, making it difficult for the flag carrier to escape. But just talking about that rogue a little bit more, the nice thing about the rogue is it is hard to count numbers. So you never know if the rogue is on defense, if he's going to be assisting on offense, if he's in the midfield ready to get a sap and set up his team for a fight. So that definitely is a really a solid advantage. But we'll see how Fanny Pack is able to do the double Warlock, especially if their destruction, which they probably are, is going to be exceptionally strong for burst damage and control. Is such a durable class in Classic WoW.
Yeah, I would expect these Warlocks to be playing something like that, maybe SM Ruin. And Azonga here is the Druid on the Fanny Pack. He's trying to make his way across right now in stealth. And it's a little bit scary because if he does get found here, it could set them back a pretty significant amount. Sequel actually very well positioned right now on that mage, kind of blocking the path here. But Azonga is a little sneaky Druid here, making his way across. And let's see how is Gnoi doing here. He's also slowly but surely making it towards that tunnel. Typically at this stage, once the Druids are close enough to the room, we're going to see a team fight get engaged here in the middle. And that's so that both teams won't just send all their members back to kind of deal with that Druid. Instead, you're going to see a Warlock, presumably here, come back for the team of Fanny Pack as soon as they see that Gnoi is coming back.
I'm sorry to call it out. I'm just watching Sequel fail the jump over and over and over. he failed it again. It's super unfortunate for them. But yeah, we have a bit of a 2v2 skirmish here on the side of Dad Gamers Unite, defending the flag in the midfield. Fanny Pack theoretically should have a little bit of an advantage, but this 2v2 is going to be so important. Asonga actually managed to get the flag. Great crowd control. Noir backing him up with the polymorphs, and it looked like he should be able to escape to at least the midfield. Now going to have to run through the team of Dad Gamers Unite, but with his entire roster in the midfield, it's looking like Fanny Pack, they're going to be looking really solid here.
Ever since you called it out, I've just been watching Sequel, and he failed 2 more jumps after you said that, and then he just kind of gave up. Oh, but he did do a nice little play there, counterspelling a Hunter on his scatter shot, which prevents them from using the trap. Little trick there, but we're going to see Gnoi here with the flag already looking to make his way back here, and it's looking pretty good so far for the squad of the Fanny Packs here, and as well for Dad Gamers Unite. But he could be in a little bit of trouble here trying to make that jump. But I feel like a Druid should be okay with that. But on the opposite side here, Gnoi trying to cross through Mordor here, basically. And so far, he's actually been doing a great job. He actually made it around. Still have a couple of mages chasing him, though. Still quite low on HP here. Can he get a couple of heals? He does have a healer here with him. No counterspell on those heals. Should be enough to keep him stable here as he makes his way into that tunnel then.
Yeah, and now with crowd control on Noir, he's actually going to just completely give up the chase, go back to the midfield. And we do see Dad Gamers Unite get their flag in a very solid position into the base. And this is where we could see the strategy come in, where you have a bit of a 5-man offense and a 5-man defense. I think Dad Gamers Unite, having that flag there, they're going to be feeling very confident, setting up, some mages, some healers with the Restoration Druid just to make sure they can disrupt any offense Fanny Pack does send in. For Songa, we'll have to go see how he's doing on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and we actually see Fanny Pack already launching an attack here. You can see the priest using mind vision on the druid to find out where he's positioned, and already they're sending some of that offense here through the tunnel, looking to be the first team to pounce here. And it's going to have to be good defense here on the side of Noi, with that mage, Sequel, and Dave the One, of course, backing him up. And this is a very standard strategy here. You go with the druid up to the flag, up to the rooftop, and then you kind of have mages, hunters trying to slow down everybody in the tunnel, and then of course everyone in the tunnel waits at the same time, uses rocket boost, free action potions come through, and there you can see it right now. They're making that push. No rocket boots activated just yet. They're trying to close the distance. That warrior now finally going to go ahead and use them, and now already the druid has to start kiting. If they ever connect to him in classic, you die when a team connects onto you because the damage is so incredibly high. Warrior popping something like a recklessness can just erase you from 80% HP. So he's definitely picking his timing here, but he needs to at some point jump down. You can see Tumle, the warlock, is ready for him. As soon as he jumps down, he will be greeted by something like a death coil to the face.
Yeah, and we'll see how this one goes. Ganoi, he's going to be kiting away, but the offense is actually getting a little bit wiped here. Can they find a kill? There's the death cola you were talking about. Do they have the follow-up damage? You can see Ganoi is in a lot of trouble right now. He's going to get some big heals potentially. Do they have the damage to finish him off? He's trying to kite out of the base. He's 10% health. Gets caught into crowd control, but he might actually make it away. The Mage's Snare is just doing such a great job. Great peels coming in from, Dave the One in order to keep this Druid alive. And it looks like the offense is wiped. There's not really much damage left. And you have 7 people on the side of Dad Gamers Unite defending their flag in their base. And with that, they should be able to clean it up and just completely reset.
Yeah, and on the opposite side here, Fanny Pack did wipe the offense of Dad Gamers Unite. So Azonga was caught up in a stun there, and there was a bit of a dicey situation going on, but he was able to survive, wipe that offense. So both teams right now in a pretty good spot. But I gotta say, that was a close call here for Dad Gamers Unite. I felt like Noy was in a pretty good spot when he was still up on that roof. Then when he jumped down, that's when the second half of that offense came through, and they almost took him down. He was on about 10% HP, and that's exactly why this team likes to bring those warlocks. The druid jumps down. There's an instant death coil, shadow burns. That's going to be, half the druid's HP, where something like a rogue, his damage will be very mitigated by that armor that the druid has in bear form, whereas the warlock just does a pure spell damage. So both teams potentially going to be returning here to their standard formations. Going to have the druid back up on the roof. You want to have those mages kind of backing up the druid next to him, maybe a healer there as well, usually a paladin, and then typically they put a hunter as well to trap the entrance to that roof with those traps that slow everybody down. So everybody is just in a safe position right now.
Wow, it's actually going to be a 9-man defense. It looks like Dad Gamers Unite are going to be willing to send a little bit of an offense here. You can see Spirit and Vayne, he's just in the midfield right now, kind of just waiting for his team. Can't really cross back, so just going to be drinking up, buffing up, and getting ready for an offensive push. But we do see, once again, Fanny Pack sending their offensive 5-man group, and they're going to be met with a bunch of mages trying to snare them and burst them down. And that's one of the really difficult things about, getting to the flag carrier is you take a lot of damage. If you're just focused on getting to the flag carrier, you can just get blown up pretty much instantly. So you have to really balance, crowd control on the mages, on the defense, stay alive, and then make it to the druid. Because if you kind of slip up and just really tunnel vision on the druid, you'll just outright die. And I think that's what makes pushing into this really defensive position as an offensive unit just so difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And one interesting choice is actually that Fulio, that Elemental Shaman, he's popping his free action potion. We're going to see a push here from Fanny Pack. Dominic drinking up here, getting ready. So we're going to pause that thought for a little bit later and see what happens here with that push. You see Fanny Pack are the ones that goes in first. Immediate crowd control here coming out on that priest. The priest is their source of dispel. So if you can dispel those free action potions and crowd control the priest, you're going to be in a good spot. But right now, I don't think Noy is going to be in a great spot. They are still doing a pretty good job here on the defense. Dave the One and Sequel just wiping everybody here, doing tons of damage. They immediately erase that Elemental Shaman, and that's the biggest threat. But now the flag carrier is caught up in a flash bomb here, Ben.
Yeah, flag carrier caught up into a flash bomb, but still just so much offense here. Can he get away? He's trying to kite back to the graveyard and really take advantage of, the hunter snares, the mage's snares, but Tummel is able to get to him for a moment. Noise still just running as fast as he can. I mean, that's one of the main powerful things about the druid is you just have so much mobility, and the enemy team chasing you really does not. Noise still in some trouble here, though. We'll have to see if his defense can really wipe out the enemy team. Fulio is back, that Elemental Shaman. And Elemental Shaman are probably the most horrifying thing you can play against. The amount of damage that they can put out is absolutely insane. So if you slip up and they get their damage off, they can kill you basically instantly.
Yeah, and exactly that is the reason why Gnoy is going to wait with jumping down until his hunter can trap that Elemental Shaman. But there's still a Warlock chasing him here in the tunnel, and if that Elemental Shaman ever reaches him with that Elemental Mastery, it is going to be bye-bye Gnoy. On the flip side, still Azonga is just basically chilling on the roof, so we shouldn't be paying too much attention to him right now, as it's still the team of Dad Gamers Unite here under heavy fire. But Gnoi has made a full circle here, and that is exactly what you want to be doing. You want to stay up on the roof. You have your mages, you have your hunter, you have one healer, and then you're kind of just defending. And then when you're forced off the roof, you want to jump down to the flag room. Then you want to run out to the graveyard, run back out through the tunnel, back up on the roof. And you want to basically keep making a circle like that with your hunter and mages slowing everybody down. And you can see here, slowly but surely, the offense here of the Fanny Pack is being wiped by Dad Gamers Unite. But still, I would argue that XXL Fanny Pack are just still in a massive lead. They don't really feel pressured at all. You can see the Druid is actually just standing here on the roof dancing next to his priest healer.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be feeling very safe and secure. And I mean, it seems like if this keeps playing out, there will be a moment where, Noggenfogger gets taken down, as he has been taking most of the pressure. Another thing we can kind of touch on, just talking about, sort of the strategy of offense, is how important having a priest on defense dispelling free action potions. Because the one thing that will shut down snares, it'll shut down roots of the mages, is the free action potion. And you can bet, Fanny Pack or any team that's using an offense is going to be trying to utilize those, but they are dispellable. So the priest's job is not only to heal the druid, but also to spell off all those free action potions as fast as he possibly can, so that the mage's roots and snares can really start adding up, and they can put out some heavy damage, especially if everyone gets clumped up. Mage AoE in Classic WoW is super strong. A Nova, Kona Cold, using engineering items, like the Sapper charges. It's just really, really big.
Ooh, see a little bit of a skirmish happening here in the tunnel. Fulyu just blasted one of these mages, Dave the One, to the grave, and now they're gonna push with one mage less. Everybody has a free action potion running. You can see the offense here of XXX Fanny Pack is making their way, and Fulyu actually activating his Skull of Impending Doom now. If this guy reaches the druid is going to be in big trouble. The druid knows this, already running away for his life, but right now caught up in a death coil here. Can they reach him? Doesn't look like it. Once again, Dave the One respawning after he died there in the tunnel, being able to spawn on the right side here of his team and slow everybody down, kind of just intercepting them. And now instead, it's actually Azonga here in big trouble. Actually, the rogue on top of him, finally, all of the team of Dad Gamers Unite catches him in a kidney shot, and he's going to trinket out of it, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. Could potentially be the first flag cap here going in favor of Dad Gamers Unite. The NS comes out, big damage here, and Azonga, how are you going to survive? The death coil comes through. Do they get the click? I do think they didn't get the click here. Somebody did pick up the flag, and still it's going to be 1-1 here, man.
Yeah, it looks like Noir, he has the flag right now. But the thing is, how long is he going to be safe holding on to that flag? He's running. It's desperate. It looks like the entire team of Dad Gamers Unite, or at least the two-man offense, is going to be trying to chase him down. He just has to survive a little bit longer. His entire team has spawned. Can he survive? He's in such a prime position right now. Tiny Tim and Pete, they just can't get to him. They can't do damage. And it looks like Noir, MVP plays, picking up the flag, keeping his team in it.
Absolutely crazy. Did you see the juke he did there on the roof? He had a warrior on him, but he kind of faked that he was jumping down, and the warrior jumped down. He was on top of him. You got to feel for Tiny Tim here. That was definitely not big plays coming out of him. He could have stayed on that roof and taken that mage down, and most likely secured a kill for you. You just caught the Tiny Tim thing. Yeah, that was good. But Azonga is going to have the flag once again here, and that was an insanely close call there for the Fanny Pack. But both teams still 0-0, man.
Okay. I think that's another thing we can kind of highlight, is just because you take down the flag carrier, it doesn't mean anything. You have to be really quick with actually clicking on that flag. And, the enemy team has just as much of an opportunity to pick it up. And we can see situations like we just saw where, Noir picks up the flag. He's able to stall, kite, avoid damage until his team respawns. And then just because he's on his graveyard, his entire team is there, ready to go. And now, once again, Azonga, they're going to be looking very solid. But I think that's actually the first time we've seen either one of these druids go down. So we kind of talked about Dad Gamers Unite. Their offense was looking a little shaky. They weren't able to really accomplish too much, but that was a great offensive push. And I mean, if they had just been a little bit quicker with clicking the flag, that could have easily been a 1-0.
So what I was going to say earlier, but I got cut off a little bit by an offensive push, and it looks like another one is happening. I don't agree with having the Ellie Shaman on offense. The Ellie Shaman has massive range on his Chain Lightning, on his Lightning Bolt. So in my opinion, he should be on defense, and he can kind of stand on the roof where he can still kind of snipe people that are entering through the tunnel, but they are choosing to keep him on offense. So far, he has never reached that druid because it is extremely hard for an elemental shaman to chase somebody down. But when somebody is running into you, that's when you're going to be able to do a lot of work. Fulio immediately getting targeted here, trying to run up. There's a scatter shot, and he's on about half HP. He catches a couple big heals here, so he shouldn't be in too much of a trouble here. Gnoi getting death coiled, but I think he is okay for now. Already jumping through the graveyard, making the classic route here where the offense comes up, you jump down, and then you run back out above the tunnel roof, and then you run through the tunnel back up on the roof. And the biggest counter to this is, of course, having a rogue in stealth here, but they don't have a rogue. They have a secondary warlock, so let's see if they can do something with that, as that warlock does catch Noi here. And right now, he should be okay still. They've the one doing a great job here, peeling all of the offense from the Fanny Pack gamers. But again, it looks like they are still going to be able to reach him. Ooh, warrior charging to the druid, but the druid in tunnel should be able to generate enough distance to avoid that intercept, and he will be able to make it all the way back up onto the roof, where I think it should be safe right now for him.
Yeah, and Zonga just playing a very defensive position. Noir actually going to be falling down, try to make an offensive push, but this is actually looking a little bit scary here for Noir. And we'll see what they get done. Azonga's still just playing very far away. It's like you said, these druids, they have to be very careful. If they get caught, in a stun lock, in a mortal coil, it could just be the end of them very quickly. So normally just force the team to run through, all your mages, all your hunters, and it does look like the offense of Dad Gamers Unite is getting wiped here. And once again, Fanny Pack, they're going to be looking good defensively. Can they set up offensively really is the question.
Yeah, Gnoi was again in kind of a close call there, but I gotta say, so far he's been picking his moments pretty well. When to jump down, when to go back up on the roof. I think this could be a bad moment though, as there is a whole bunch of enemy players coming through in that tunnel. If they can connect, it could be devastating. But Stratod on that hunter is there, placing down that frost trap. And if anybody walks into that, that's going to cover basically the whole tunnel. So the defense here of Dad Gamers Unite is in a great spot. The defense of Fanny Pack as well in a great spot. So far, 19 minutes here on the clock. And I mean, I'm pretty bad at head math here, but I gotta say, it looks a little bit in favor of XXL Fanny Pack when it comes to those kills, man.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things. I mean, if neither one of these teams can score a flag cap, it is going to come down to killing blows. If that's tied, it'll come down to damage. So whoever can pick up this first flag, definitely going to have a massive lead. All of a sudden, killing blows don't matter nearly as much. And if there's limited time left, we could see a strategy where the team that does pick up the flag, they go for a 10-man defense, all-out turtle, and just try to secure the game with one flag capture. I think that's likely what we will see. But for now, it's going to be that 5-man offense, 5-man defense, and we can see which one of these offensive units are going to be able to push in first.
Yeah, Fulio once again on that Elemental Shaman, popping free action potion here with his Warlocks, Skull of Impending Doom, all that good stuff here, trying to avoid the Frost Mage snares, trying to make it all the way back to his target here. And once again, he's just going to die on that Eli Shaman. He counterspell on the heal, and there's the Sapper Charge, and he's going to go down. On the whole offense here, actually, of Fanny Pack is just going to get wiped. And I got to say it again, I really think this Eli Shaman should be on defense for his team, and just send something else in his place, something a little bit more mobile, maybe one of the mages. I think it would work out a lot better, because so far, the Eli Shaman has done pretty much nothing on offense, and now a big push here, then coming out of Dad Gamers Unite. Azonga needs to be extremely careful here.
I mean, he definitely does. He's going to be positioning very far away. He actually jumps down as well, but he's taking a huge hit of damage. Down to around 50% health. Still just going to be looking to kite it out, but I don't know if he's going to be able to survive. Getting lower and lower. He can't connect to his team. The Mortal Coil comes in. Death Coil. But getting back to the graveyard, reconnecting with that, that defense or that offense that was wiped. Now as long as it's going to be feeling very, very safe. And that's another thing we can talk about. I mean, if your entire offense gets wiped, all of a sudden you have 5 more people spawning at the graveyard that can really help defend you. So you have to really consider that with your offensive and defensive pushes, because if you do get wiped or the enemy team gets wiped, they are going to have an extra 5 players, and that makes it I would say almost impossible for a 5-man squad to take down, the flag against 10 people. And that's going to come in clutch for the team of Fanny Pack. The fact that they wiped on offense going to be paying dividends for them. But I have to say, like you're mentioning, it just seems like Fulio's not able to get too much done on offense on that Elemental Shaman just yet. And Dad Gamers Unite, they've been doing an excellent job focus firing down Akiva, which is going to be that warrior. And when he goes in, if he just gets taken down immediately, all of a sudden we're instantly in a 4 versus 5 situation. And making that offensive push is really difficult. I definitely feel like there's a defender's advantage here, and if you slip up just a little bit with your offensive push, you're just gonna wipe.
Yeah, and I got to just call out something that Azonga did a little bit earlier on that druid. It was so nice. Before you jump down, if you look at the starting room here of Fanny Pack, you can see the rogue Ramensky sitting there in stealth, basically waiting for the druid to jump down. And earlier when we had a close call, he was able to survive because he trinketed that kidney shot, and the mage picked up the flag. But this time when Azonga jumped down, he just used a free action potion right away to not get stunned, and it's a big reason to why he was able to survive. But we got another offensive push here happening from Fanny Pack. Can they take Gnoi down? He's getting connected to, finally, a mage connecting here, impact to proccing. Big damage, Nature Swiftness coming out, big heal there. Nice charge here by Gnoi, and he's mixing it up actually. Finally, an Elemental Shaman Chain Lightning is going to connect to him, but he's going to brush that off, and he's doing a pretty good job so far kiting, but now he's mixed it up. He can't jump down again. If they connect, this could be a big mistake. Death Call comes through. He's got a warrior chopping it on him, and can they pick up the flag? It doesn't look like it. They are going to drop the flag, and can Azonga cap it? Yes, he can. That's going to be it. 1-0 here for Fanny Pack after 23 gruesome minutes here, going back and forth. They are going to find that first cap.
Yeah, that was extremely well done there by the team of Fanny Pack, now up 1-0. Now, this is where it gets interesting for me, is because for Fanny Pack, there is 12 minutes left on the match. There's some things for them to consider. I mean, they are up 1-0. Are they just going to play a 10-man defense at this point? Are they going to continue to go for, a 5-5 split, try to pick up that second flag cap? I mean, if it was me, I feel like, just kind of playing to that advantage that you got the first cap, try to just defend your flag carrier at all costs, really set up a gauntlet for them to push through. That's something that can definitely backfire, but I don't know. The feeling of wanting to play safe when you are in a lead is something that these players are definitely going to be thinking about right now.
I feel like going for another flag is the best line of play, because at least that way you're going to have more opportunity to get the flag and tie up the game. If you're all in your base and by any chance your flag carrier dies, there's no one who's there who can re-pick it up. But if you have presence on their side of the map, at least if your flag carrier dies, their flag carrier might not actually be able to cap the flag, because as you saw, the flag carrier of Gnoi had to jump down and then go to the graveyard and then go to the tunnel and go all the way back up. So as long as you have that offense kind of pressuring the enemy flag carrier, he can't just sit there and just wait AFK on the flag spot, basically getting ready to cap. So I feel like what they're doing right now is a good line of play here. But it could definitely backfire as well. I do understand why some people would want to play it safe. It just even playing safe can be risky here when we're talking about Classic, because the damage is so high when you have 10 people defending one guy, but that guy can still die in 3 hits. Anything can happen.
Yep, no, 100% agree with you. Not saying it necessarily is the best play, but it's one of these things that's going to be going through the player's mind, instead of, playing to try to keep getting that lead, just try to survive as long as you possibly can. But in Classic WoW, damage is so high, healing is reduced so much by that Mortal Strike that plays like that can absolutely backfire. So we'll see. Looks like right now, Fanny Pack, they are splitting up their team. So as long as Azonga can get out of the base, we'll see. He's got 5 people right now, or he's got 4 of his teammates defending him in the midfield, looking to cross. But Dad Gamers Unite, they have to stop him. And you can see they're putting a lot of their resources into actually helping him out, and it looks like they might actually be able to take him down. 50% health. Azonga finally manages to slip away just for a moment, but Dad Gamers Unite, they really do not want him to cross the midfield, because if he can get into his base, we've seen how defensive Fanny Pack can be. But it looks like the team of Fanny Pack should be able to survive. I mean, Azonga, he still is low susceptible to some burst damage, but there's just so many members for Fanny Pack. I just think it's really unlikely we see Dad Gamers Unite able to take him down.
I would have loved to see a little bit more crowd control on that priest. I gotta say, Dominic here, he's out of mana. He's basically been healing through most of his mana bar, a couple of Viper stings, of course, but for the most part, he's just been free healing on that Druid. And the only reason why Azonga is alive and able to cross right now is because I didn't see any counter spells coming through. I didn't see any freezing traps or anything like that. And it's extremely important in Classic to make sure that you get those interrupts, you get that crowd control on the healers, because if you don't, well, damage is high, but so is healing. You know, one heal could easily top somebody off. So definitely a little bit of a misplay there on the side of Dad Gamers Unite in their kind of combat. But Azonga is gonna, after a close call, make it all the way through back onto the roof. Gnoi as well in position, and we're in the same situation as before. And if you're Dad Gamers Unite, I feel like at this point, all you have to do is get one cap and return it, and then you still get the win, because it's the most recent flag capture that wins when 35 minutes have elapsed. So they're definitely not out of it yet, and you can see another attack here being launched on Nord.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Dad Gamers Unite, you're always going to be in some trouble, but at the same time, Dad Gamers Unite, they're committing a 7-man offense. So it's going to be 7 offensive members going up against the defensive fanny pack. They only have 5. So definitely a little bit risky, and you can see Gnoi is actually going to fall. That risk did not pay off. And now with the 2-up lead, fanny pack, they are looking extremely solid. And those are the decisions that can be really, really difficult. You get tricked into thinking, not necessarily tricked, but you kind of feel like the pressure is on for you to get that flag cap. You end up playing a little bit more risky. And it's like you said, Zico, something like that can absolutely backfire.
Yeah, definitely, and that's the problem right there. I feel like you don't go for that line of play, that kind of Hail Mary play, unless the clock is at like 32 minutes or something like that, and you really feel the pressure where it's like, okay, well, if you don't win on the next push, the game's going to time out and we're going to lose. I feel like they still had a lot of time to set up a couple of offensive pushes, and they, to their credit, had a couple of close calls on that Druid. I mean, Azonga, they even did take him down. They were the first one to actually kill the Druid, and if they just got the click there, they would have been up in the lead. So I feel like that Gamers Unite definitely threw a little bit there, but at this point, if you are XXL Fanny Pack, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I feel like going for a 10-man defense here is a completely viable strategy, because even if you do slip up and the Druid does go down after a while, it's just such a long time before you can really do anything about it, because you need to do it twice in a row, right? And Azonga is going to actually fail the jump there. I think he got death coiled out of that ledge, though. So in his defense, it wasn't entirely his fault, and they are going to be able to take down the flag here for Dad Gamers Unite as well. So if Azonga can make these couple of jumps, he should actually be able to just go and potentially score the last flag. He's only a mage in that starting room, so if they do a good job here collapsing on sequel, then all of a sudden that's going to be a 3-0 here for XXL Fanny Pack.
Yep, sequel. He uses Blink. He's trying to escape, but Freda is there to meet him. Is he going to be able to do it? Can Sequel make it out? It looks like the entire team is going to be swarming all over him. And this poor mage, I just don't think there's much of a chance he's going to be able to get more done than that. And it's looking like it will be. Horde side wins. Fanny Pack 3-0 over Dad Gamers Unite. But I mean, that game was so close for such a long time. But you can really see what happens when stuff starts snowballing. Once you get one cap, it was kind of clear that Dad Gamers Unite started falling apart just a little bit, and those decision-making processes become a lot more difficult.